जोगी अंदर जोगिया, तू भोगी अंदर भोगिया, तेरा अंत न पाया, सुरग मछ पयाल जियो. Mostly, it is translated as saying that तू जोगियां अंदर जोगी बन के बह जाना, भोगी अंदर भोगी बन के बह. जोगी द वही जोग literally means, the way they translate the yogi, those who are yogis outside, they call themselves yogis. And bhogi means those who enjoy the carnal pleasures. That's bhogi. Okay? Sensual pleasures. That's not how I see it. Jog means to join. Yoga Shastra. Jog, you know that when we add 2 plus 2, उसने कहने का रिजल्ट किए जोग 4 है ना, उन्होंने जोग कहने ना, मतलब to put together. And bhog means भाग करना, divide करना, division. And what is the life of division? To many, the outer life. Yog, जोड़ना, the inner life. Bhog, divide करना, the outer life. 2 dimensions. You will see it as we go along. Then you will see the gist. Yeah. Opposite of that. To separate from it. Divide. So the message is that in connecting to you or in separating effort, positive and negative, they both dimensions belong to you. Even though somebody else would want to take the credit for it. Bhagwan ne kita hai, shaitan ne kita hai. Right? We give some credit to the devil, some to the, even within ourselves, right? I didn't do it, the devil made me do it. Jogi andar Jogia. There is no way for anyone to say that I am trying to be with you. Because if you say I am trying to be with you, then you and I are already 2 separate things. The premise is, the very first step has been taken wrong. मैं भक्ति कर रहा हूं, किस लिए? तेरे पास पहुंचने के लिए. Right? I am meditating because I want to be with you. What is the underlying truth assumption of that statement? I am separate from you.
I always have problem there. What is wrong in expressing reality?
It is not a reality, it is the illusion. The fact that you consider yourself as separate is the foundation of the illusion. Yeah. In seeking the grace, the individuality, the doer, does not exist. The seeker. Seeking the grace is the admission. What was the statement? Tyagi Saranapava, the one who surrendered. Tyag. How can there be surrendering when you are saying, I am surrendering. See the trap of the words. See the trap of the language. Because we do not have any other way to communicate. That's our language. That's our tool. We need to use the words and then see beyond it and say, I know I use the word. The moment I said I know, I is there. I am using it. Yes. That statement on the if the surrendering has happened, I is no more. Language can never be adequate. How are you going to tell somebody I am silent?
Saying you are silent means you are not silent.
That statement is a declaration of non-silence.
Learn sign language.
Just change the toy. Just change the toy. Keep the game the same. Don't use this language. Use this language. No. Understand that. Get that knowing. Get that experience. Get that feeling inside you. That this urge to declare is your basic stumbling block. You need to go around it. This energy that comes out and say, we have one of the classic tussle between a man and a woman. Do you love me? Yes, but you never say it. Well, doesn't it show through my actions? No, but that's not enough. I want you to say it. Okay, I will keep on saying but do nothing. Are you okay with that? And we go around circles, never getting to the essence behind it. That urge to say and urge to hear is the stumbling block. That is the memory old pattern that you need to break. It has nothing to do with the level. That's a absolute defense mechanism. It has nothing to do with the level. It is either you accept it or you don't. That is the way of postponing to say, no, I still have mine and I like it the way it is. I want to keep it. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to keep it where you are bhogi andar. Because when you keep it and get attached to the outside world which supports that, you still haven't lost touch with him. He's still there. That's the essence of these two statements. Whether you accept it or not, yeah.
Why they haven't used the word Jogi and the Jogia? I don't see the word two over.
No.
It comes later on.
It comes later on. Tu and main belongs in the outer dimensions. Thanks for pointing it out. See, that tu word is not there. It's a very, very significant thing. Because tu and main is in the outer dimension. In that dimension, there is only one. There is no tu, there is no main. It's only you or he. That's it. That's why it starts with the Jogi and the Jogia. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Continue struggling with that. It is very significant. Let the inner be tortured with that thought so that it can eventually grow out of that pain and say, aha. Till you go through that torturing, logic is not going to convince you. Logic is a whore. It serves the master who pays best. Logic is useless in the world of spirituality. Experience is valuable. Jogi under Jogia, those who are inner journey, there also it is you on an inner journey. Those who are on the outer journey, there also it is you who is on the outer journey. And the beauty of that is, it is impossible to explain. Tera ant na paya. See that? It recognizes the difficulty of the human mind and the human language and say, how are you going to get to the essence, end of it and see it? Because it's paradoxical. And that's what we've been talking about, right? Because it's a paradox. Tera ant na paya, surag mach payalajiyo. How? What is the metaphor here? The entire ocean and a simple machli, a fish. How she is going to know that? How a fish is going to know what the ocean is? Because she is inside the ocean. In order to know the ocean, she has to get out and take a look at it. And even if she could get out and take a look at it, can she see the entire ocean? She cannot. Not only that, if she gets out, she won't survive. Isn't that what happens to the human body anyway? That's why we say, in a meditative state, you cannot stay permanently. You have to come back. You have to come back. You cannot stay out. Because the experience is relative to only when you are inside the ocean.
Somebody, some human boat can take that fish and put in a tank of water.
Yeah.
Which is in the boat.
Okay.
And from there, without dying, she can look at the ocean.
Can she? Can she look at the ocean?
Not complete, but part.
Okay, and that's the question. Can the fish know the ocean? If she is looking in the tank, does she know how deep it is? How wide it is? Does she know that? Can she know that? She doesn't have that tool. No matter how hard she tries, even if she is willing to give up the life, which is a metaphor for the human. When the human decides and say, I'm going to go on that journey, and I'm going to become a Buddha. Okay, now you become a Buddha. Now what? You have to come back into the same body and live like anybody else. Because you cannot stay a Buddha out of the body forever. Because the body would not survive. That is the paradox. And Gurbani is basically saying, for a seeker, be under no illusion. Your denial or your separation from him has not achieved the result you thought you were achieving. Talk to any atheist. They think they have all the answers. And Gurbani says, just because you believe this, science has done nothing but explain the phenomena. Hydrogen and oxygen became water. That's all they have explained. Hydrogen and oxygen, why did not become a sulfuric acid? They cannot. Who decided that this way it will be this? Well, when you added more elements, it became this. Okay. I am not denying that if there were only one molecule of oxygen, it was water. When it became 2, it became heavy water. When it became 3, it became oxide. I got it. I know your table. Tell me, why did it choose to be this way? Why this did not become a cat, a dog? Oh, then the single cell learned to multiply to multiple cells, and then they became this. I got it. Who decided that we are not going to anymore multiply, we are going to copulate? How did that decision made? There are 4 types of creations. Andas jeras se tajgini utpuj khan bahur rajdini. The creation comes out of egg. Creation comes out of placentia or planta, whatever it's called. Placenta. That's how much I know. Placenta. Creation comes out of a moisture, and creation comes out of land. Who decided these 4 types? Do we know all the types? Are there any more? Okay, fine. Now you have convinced yourself that you know when it was done, how it was done, and you don't know anything else. Guess what? Your believing that does not change anything. Tera ant na paya surag mach paya lijiyo. It is like a fish putting a claim that I know the ocean because I live in it. And then when that realization comes, the answer to your question. Hawari hawarne kurban tere navto. See, when a human form recognizes this, all it can do is surrender. All it can say, Wah. Whatever it is, warna penda, surrender karna penda. There is no way to put it into language, put it into logic, put it into the explanation. Any theory, any model, any thesis, hypothesis means absolutely nothing. Because it is that paradox. Once you see the power of the paradox, you are forced to get to the next stage and say, wow. तुद संसार उपाया सिरे सिर धंधे लाया वेखे कीता अपना कर कुदरत पासा ढाल जियो. What do we see? We see that the world is out there, your creation, and everyone has a different role. Sire sir dhande laya. Dhande doesn't mean work. Sire sir, different, depending on your different roles are there. And then what is going on? ਵੇਖੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਆਪਣਾ, and you are observing and watching what? ਕੁਦਰਤ ਪਾਸਾ ਢਾਲ ਜਿਓ. What is the ਪਾਸਾ ਢਾਲਣਾ? To play the game of chopper. It is similar to chess, but it is a typical game in the land of Punjab, which has four, and they actually do it on a cloth, and then they have these nardan kehndे ne. It's equivalent of what you will call a Vegas dice. Yeah. In Vegas dice, these are the homemade dice, and you throw it, and based on the number, then those are called nardan, or they move accordingly. That's the game. You have created the world, you have given different roles, and in that game you are watching in playing that game. ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਪਹਾਰੇ ਜਾਪਦਾ ਸਭ ਨਾਵੇ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਤਾਪ ਦਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਬਾਜ ਨਾ ਪਾਇਓ ਸਭ ਮੋਹੀ ਮਾਇਆ ਜਾਲ ਜਿਓ. And so that's the paradox, which is pragat means visible. You are there. How you are there? It's through your creation. You are not visible as an entity by itself, but through your creation, pragat pahare. And what is that? Japda lagda hai. It appears through your creation, but it is all your sabnavenu pratapda. This is all your grace, and this secret is not understood without the help of a master that you have sent, that you continue sending, Satguru. Satguru is the master who is personified on the planet to let these secrets out. And if you don't pay attention to that, then what happens? Sab mohi maya jal jiyo. Then the outer game is so enjoyable, so endearing, that you get attached to this. And in that attachment, now you are trapped. Satgaur kaubal jaye jit miliye param gat paiye surnar munjan loch de so Satguru jiya bujhaye diyo. It is that ultimate master. If you surrender to him, then he or she is able to give you the methodology, the process. Jit miliye param gat paye. Param means the highest of the high. Gat means condition. You get to that condition by surrendering to him. Those which the sur nar mon jan loch de, those who all these rishis, munis, and all those gyatas, all those so-called knowing people, they are seeking and yearning for it, if they were only to surrender their self to who? Satguru diya bujhaye ji. If they surrender to him, bujhaye ji, understand that word. Bujhaye literally means a riddle. A riddle. Riddle, to solve the riddle. Bujharat. It is not a impossibility. It's not such a mystery that cannot be understood, or as you were saying, we are not that high. That's not the case. He says you need to surrender that which from inside is saying, well, how can that be possible? Yeah, it is not possible to a logician, but it is possible to a bhagat. Come into that frame of mind, and certainly these things will start making sense to you. How? Here is the process. Satsangat kaisi janiye jitho eko naam vakhaniye. You see, we are so used to saying and hearing, oh, see, satsang karan chale hain ji. Okay, fine. You are going to satsang. Now, is that a satsang or not? Gurbani gives you a test. This is if there is any conversation, any discussion, any other thought about anything other than the one, then it's not a satsang. जिथे एको नाम वखाणी है, a single topic. Not only that, on a single entity. Yeah.
The satsang is to get to that stage.
Of course.
So, it's a process.
Yeah.
You can say this is a junior satsang.
No, there is no junior, senior, or middle, or high.
I mean, you know what I'm saying, that if we could do that, then we would already be there.
No. No, you didn't get the message at all. I think you are wandering. You are wandering. Bring the mind back into the Sangat. Let me go over it again. If you have any other subject in the Sangat, how is it getting you closer to him? If the objective of the Sangat is help getting closer to that thought process, then isn't by definition all other automatically excluded? Let's say that I am talking of a lady who's very much interested in getting to him. And I get together here and I talk about that lady. So who I'm getting closer to? Knowing more about the lady.
I'm sorry, that is not what I had in mind. I had understood what you said. The subject, should be that.
There should be only one topic. That is the definition of a satsangat.
Correct. But what I'm saying is that in mind, the other thoughts are coming off and on.
Now what you are saying is that when I am listening,
Correct.
other thoughts are coming. But you are sitting in satsangat. That is what is defining.
Okay, then it's fine.
It is defining the satsangat, the gathering of the seekers can be called a true gathering only if the topic of conversation and exchange is one. And if you wander away from there, you need to break that habit and say, come back. I know you were gone there. Come back. I know you went to the hospital. Come back. Okay? So that's what the satsangat helps you to do. सत्संगत कैसी जानिए जिथे एको नाम वखानिए एको नाम हुक्म है. Isn't that wonderful reinforcement? एको नाम हुक्म है. The master has said, pick a word and stay with it, and that is it. Eko naam, and that's not a proposal, that's not a request. That is hukum. एको नाम हुक्म है, नानक सतगुरु दिया बुझाए जियो. That is the solution to the riddle. Otherwise, you will become like that joke they tell that somebody was drowning and he started praying, "Oh Krishna, oh Krishna, oh Krishna," and a couple of gulps of the water says, "Hey Rama, hey Rama, hey Rama." Couple of more gulps, "Hey Siyama, hey Siyama." He drowned. And the story goes, and he complained to Krishna. He said, I called you first. Where were you? Well, you called me. I was getting ready. I was looking for my Sudarshan Chakra. And you stopped. Oh, I started talking to Rama. He said, okay, so then why were you complaining to me? And he went to Rama. He said, yeah, I was getting ready. I was getting my Dhanush and I was going to call Sita. And he said, but you stopped. He said, but I was calling Sita Ma. He said, but a woman cannot go without a proper makeup. So you had to wait. I was just getting ready. एको नाम हुक्म है. Pick one, then stay with it. आज हम इस ब्रह्म ज्ञानी को सुनने जा रहे हैं, आज इस माता जी को सुनने जा रहे हैं, आज भवानी जी का प्रसाद है, आज इसका ये है, एंड यू आर oh we are equal opportunity, we are universalist, secularist. And what does that do? It's not funny. It feeds to the soul more information, creates more memories, that instead of exhausting something stored from earlier, you adding more. It is not saying do this one thing. It is saying do one thing. Whatever is that you have taken the fancy to, take that and stay with it. But that should be for what? Eko naam vakhaniye. That should belong to that only one. It does not matter you call it Ameen or Allah or Amen or Vaheguru or Ram or Buddha or Sohang. It has absolutely no significance. But whatever you picked, then stay with it. And that is the secret. That is the bujharat. That is the riddle. Why people don't get it? Because they don't invest enough time and energy with the enough sincerity. Because while they were on this, trying to solve this problem by sticking to this, another problem comes and says, "Inhe to pehli solve nahi ki, now let's go to another one." So, ये जगत भरम भुलाया, आपो तुद खुआया, पर ताप लगा दोहागणी, पाप जना के नाहे जियो. This is what happens when you, what is a bharam? Illusion. Something you see as real, but it's really not. How do we fall into that trap? Somebody comes in and does a magic trick to us and say, ha ha ha, I found the real one. And we run after that magic trick. Then after a while we find, oh. Now, the time lost, I cannot recover. ये जगत भरम भुलाया. So, in a way, it is a compassion for the human mind and says, see, I know you are on the wrong track, but it's not your fault. You are getting attracted and pulled by these illusionary things. So, wake up from that. Apo tud khwaya. Khwaya means, khwar karna means to make somebody, get lost. So this is a part of the drama. Those who people got in there, what happens to them? Pratap laga do hagani. What is now this is a typical feminine word. A sohagani means the one who's married to one. A dohagani means who's not married but with too many of them. That's dohagani. He says then You are not with one because you are with many. So that's why you are a Dohagani. See, Pratap laga Dohagani, and then what happens? Bhag jana ke naaj. See, now they are on a different destiny. They are on a different journey altogether. Dohagani kya nisaniyan, khasmo khutiyan fire nimaniyan. So let me tell you what Dohagani is. Dohagani kya nisaniyan. How do you recognize a Dohagani? Khasmo khutiyan fire nimaniyan. They are away from their husband, their lover, and they are absolutely lost in the world. Male vestina kamani dukhi rehn vihaye jiyo. Then they tell the world, I couldn't sleep last night. Well, why not? Well, look inside. Somebody said this and somebody did that, or somebody did not do that, etc., etc. So, that's just a noise. You need to go inside and look at the real thing. Sohagani kya karm kamaya, purb likhya phal paya, nadar kare kay apani ape lay milaye jiyo. So, what is a Sohagani? They are on that proper path and they become worthy of nadar kare kay apani. They become worthy of his blessing and then they become one with him. Hukum jina no manaya, ten antar sabd visaya, sahiyan se Sohagani, jin seh naal pyar jiyo. Hukum jina no manaya. Those who have accepted his will, how did they get there? Tinna antar sabd vasaya. They took the word and made a part of their inner being, and then what happened? Sahiyan se Sohagani. Then they automatically became the wedded ones, because now the true love with the ultimate lover evolves. Jinna bhane ka rasaya ten vichon bharm chukaya, Nanak Sadgur aisa janiye jo sabse le milaye jiyo. So, those who are in the will, bhane, jinna bhane ka rasaya. This is a very, very important thing that links us back to the very first thing, that if you learn to surrender to the will without doubt, without question, without anything, then vichon bharm chukaya, then there are no doubts. Everything is in his will. They don't question, and people outsider will question, but they don't. Nanak Satgur aisa janiye jo sabse lay milaye. Now that's the true definition of a Sadguru. He does not distinguish. He does not discriminate. He does not qualify. When the people starts qualifying, discriminating. I just recently read a book in which I discovered that the master actually had preference for the people. When he is gone, how should each one be treated? That's documented. This one is to be treated this way, this one is to be treated this way, this one is to be treated that way. And you wonder. But they are very successful in the outside world though. A true master definition is what? Nanak Sadgur aisa janiye jo sabse le milaye jiyo. No distinction. Because if the master sees somebody higher, lower, better, or worse, There's no master. You still have that judgment. The judgmental mind cannot be mastered. So we will take a pause here at 10 because it's 9:30, and we'll continue because it's a long Bani. It's going to go to 24. So we'll cover the rest on our next sitting.